From being a sim streamer to a big fan of retro and horror games, my guest tonight on the show is one hell of an amazing human being and one of my best friends on the internet. From random chat shenanigans to banter about her amazing little daughter, she's one of the loveliest people I've come across on the platform. I'm more than honored to not only mod for her but to be one of her best friends. Honestly, she's amazing, she's wonderful. I can talk and talk and talk and talk and go on and without stopping, all the way from the land down under. Again, I'm happy to welcome Quill, better known as jaQUILLyn, to tonight's episode of Twitch Tea Time.
How in the world do I follow that? That is the most lovely introduction that I ever could have imagined.
Yeah.
That's so sweet and so kind of you. See, this is where everyone will know that I'm the lucky one to have you as my friend.
Uno reverse. So
the amount of times we've pulled an Uno reverse at each other with compliments.
Yeah. So
we really need to start a tally for that.
yeah. So in this space, we were going to talk about everything from gaming to Twitch, social media life as a parent, as well as some mental health topics and more. So just grab a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy. The first question I'm going to ask you is one I start with every single episode. How are you today?
I don't know why that was the question I wasn't expecting. I'm quite well, actually. I'm having quite a good day so far.
Oh,
it's pretty early here still, so nothing.
Yeah.
There's been a chance for nothing to go wrong.
Oh yeah, I've had Aussies on the podcast that recorded at 6 or 7 a.m.
I don't know if that's a time of day. Well, I wouldn't know if that was a time of day until I had my daughter.
Yeah.
She lets me know that it is in fact a time of day.
Yeah. So you're a model and you also were/are a mechanic. How did the modeling gig happen?
It's actually a really funny story, and believe it or not, was in reverse. So yeah, it's actually quite a funny story though. So I was modeling a gig with a very lovely lady and her very lovely daughter, and I was actually in university at the time studying nutrition and health promotion.
Studying how to be amazing?
And I just happened to mention that it's very expensive being at university. Obviously, a lot of you would understand that. And how I was struggling living on my own, paying rent, working part-time to get money to pay for everything and all the rest, normal struggles that a lot of people have, including myself at the time. And she said that one of her son's friends had actually just gotten an apprenticeship, and maybe they could offer me some work experience. And me being me thought, why not? Took on work experience. I was there for about 2 weeks and they wanted me to stay longer, and I said I'd love to, but I just can't afford to. And they offered to take me on as an apprentice. And that was working with trucks and buses, which is the part a lot of people don't know.
Oh.
They just hear mechanic and assume cars, but I'm actually
a truck mechanic. Yeah, I can assume that. I don't know why I picture you as on one of the model pictures as you holding a wrench or something, or you being in rags, and that's the photo shoot.
I actually did do a lot of I did get a lot of requests to do photo shoots like that. Because as you can imagine, the moment that you mention you're a mechanic, everyone's like, "Ooh, let's find a way to sexualize this." But yeah, it's one of those things. It doesn't hurt anyone, and as long as it's tasteful, I don't really mind.
I thought you were gonna say tasty.
I mean, I do love tasty things as well, but
yeah. So when and how did you decide? I was gonna ask you, when and how did you decide to be a mechanic? You okay? You needed the money, but you said, okay, so that's what I'm gonna be doing with my life. What are the benefits of it?
Well, any trade, really, you get paid to work, which is always really great. especially when you're 17 living out of home and just really need money. There's a little bit more to the situation, but it would mean talking about a friend of mine who I'm not sure it would be comfortable with me sharing her story, but I'll just tell you, I was supporting a friend of mine who had to live out of home for personal reasons. So it was one of those situations where I need money, and I need money not just for me, but for my friend as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was, it was a hard situation to be in. So I kind of just needed something that paid, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I knew that I didn't want to work a retail job. And I think just doing the work experience gave me a chance to see for myself if I would like it or not, and I did, thankfully.
Yeah. So before we talk about like your channel and Twitch and everything, you're a parent and you're expecting as well. So how is life as a parent?
I don't want to sound cliche, but I am absolutely going to sound cliche. You just really don't know how much you can love someone until you have your kid. It's just crazy. Everything she does is amazing, no matter how standard it is for any other kid her age, and just the sound of her like feet running into my bedroom in the morning to come and pull my eyelids open and go, "Mummy, wake up!" It's just, it sounds horrible, and it is kind of horrible, but at the same time, I would never want it to stop.
Yeah.
But also, it's the most exhausting thing that I've ever done.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, you just, everything about being a parent is tiring.
Yeah.
Breastfeeding, exhausting. Hanging out with the most beautiful little child in the universe, exhausting.
Yeah.
They have so much endless energy, and as you know, I do it mostly alone. My husband does work away more often than he's home, which is really hard. So I know that it would be easier for a lot of people.
Yeah. So basically, like, can you tell us about one thing, like one funny thing I do recall you speaking about that happened to you? You also said it on stream that happened to one of my guests on the show 2 episodes ago, Shads. You were at a restaurant and she called him out for something. So you tell the story.
So I was telling him, she was kind of at that age where she was starting to learn a couple of words. So I reckon maybe around like 14 months old. And before they start speaking the words, they understand a lot more than they can speak. And I was kind of showing off a little bit, as mums do. Like, oh, look at all the words she knows. Hey, honey, like, point to the wall, point to the door. And then Shad's thinking he was really funny, and he really is, says, point to the trash. And she points straight at him, and I've never seen such betrayal on a man's face.
Yeah, he still like says, I'm gonna wait until she's 18 and then we're gonna like discuss it.
He set himself up for failure, what can I say?
I mean, I really enjoyed the episode with him. I didn't want it to end though. Like, he is
so lovely.
He is actually.
He is one of the most charismatic people I've met.
Oh yeah, and people told me like, oh, he's gonna talk for 4 hours. Then I'm like, I went into these people's channel and I'm like, guess how long the episode is? They said like 4 hours 20 minutes. I'm like, nope, 1 hour and a half. They're like, oh my god, you could have gotten more info. I'm like, I got what I need.
From what you said to me though, you sounded like you wanted it to keep going.
Oh yeah, because like it's
really,
really,
there's not enough time.
really enjoyable, like really enjoyable. So
I'm not surprised. He's so lovely.
Yeah. So can you tell me about how you discovered Twitch, how you decided to become a streamer, and how you like also how you are working on the path to partner as well?
I have a lot of people to blame in this next part. Ready yourself.
I'm ready.
So this is actually another kind of weird story. So I found Twitch because I'd had my daughter and my husband didn't start working away until after she was born. So it was kind of like an unexpected, like, oh, now I'm alone. He did work really long hours before then, but at least eventually he'd be home. Sometimes it would be really late at night or even the following morning, but he would always be home. And then all of a sudden I have this new baby, and my husband is flying interstate for work, and it's something that we needed to do. It's something that needed to happen, but it's just a lot to get used to all at once with kind of like no warning or expectation of it happening.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of looking for ways to try and sleep at night when for the first time I'm in an empty bed. So I actually started off by just reading like creepypastas, which is something that I've done before.
Oh,
I
God.
really enjoy it, and for some reason, when I can't fall asleep, that's my go-to. I know, but it really does help me. And I know that I'm not the only one, because there are actually people who make sleep compilations of creepypastas. So again, not alone in this.
So sleepy pastas.
Sleepy pastas. That's such a good name for it. Next endeavor online. And then following that, I've lost track of where I'm talking. I'm sorry.
How I discovered Twitch.
Oh yeah. So I started listening to people who pre-recorded them, and then I thought, wouldn't it be fun to see if there's anyone who actually kind of just does this and you can interact with them while they're doing it. And then I remembered one of my friends was going to start streaming and she never did. So I'd made a Twitch account, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and literally never used it because I'd made it specifically to support her, and she just never ended up using it. And
yeah,
I thought, well, why not go on and see if there are any horror streamers? So I just logged on and watched different horror streamers. And then I also always kind of had a fascination with The Sims, even though I didn't own it at that point. I was pretty late to the Sims train. I don't think I bought The Sims until maybe like a year and a half ago. And
so when it went free?
Yeah, I know.
When it went free?
No, I had it. It's only been free for a few months, hasn't it?
No, it's been free since last year.
It was definitely before then. I wish I got it free. If I knew that they were going to do that, I would have waited. You know my story with EA. I never like support them in anything Sims wise, because like one time I had my account and then they were like, you can't log in, and then after 3 or 4 attempts they're like, your account has been banned. I'm like, what? Yeah, they were like, yeah, we thought someone was hacking into your account. Then I was like, that was me hacking into my own account. Plus I told them like the launcher is having issues. They're like, which region are you? And then I told them like, I'm in the Middle East. They're like, sorry, there's no support there, like we can't help you with it. And then I was like, okay, well, you know what I'm gonna do? Delete my account, delete everything. I know what to do. Then I just ended communication with them, and I'm not shy to say that I have it pirated. So yeah. Oh, that sucks though.
It's fine.
Yeah. I just kind of started watching people, and I became friends. Someone you interviewed recently, actually, Martin, she was one of the first people I found through The Sims, back when she used to do a lot of Sims streaming, and it was actually members of her community, and I think her herself that was encouraging me to get started, because I used to mod for her when I had more time and less children.
Okay.
And yeah.
So
got started into it, and they all kind of supported me and still support me to this day.
But your channel is now like huge. That's what she said. But like seriously, like the amount of support, the amount of love, I have never seen that much. Like let's use the word. Let's be honest. I'm not gonna like not be myself, but I've never seen that much money put into someone. I've not seen that much support go to someone as much as it goes to you. Honestly,
it surprises me so much, because I grew up as someone who had no friends and got really horribly bullied all the way through my childhood, to the point where when I ran into some of my like old school chums later on in life, they actually apologized to me. I couldn't think of a better word for it. Okay?
It's
Are we
fine.
here to judge me or are we here to listen?
I just find it funny. So
It is funny, it's okay. They actually apologized to me, and that was such a weird thing for me to experience.
oh yeah, one of my bullies who bullied me like for my voice, and he called me out for being like, he called me gay at like when we were like 9 or 10 years old. I came across him a few years later on Grinder, and I was like, "Hi," like I thought he was cute and stuff because he had changed, and then he sent me, he's like, "You motherfucker, were you with me in summer camp?" I'm like, "Who's this?" And he tells me like, "I'm XYZ." I'm like, "Oh my god, I do not mean to laugh at you or like just poke fun at you, but weren't you the one that bullied me and almost gave me almost like opened my head up on the wall by like just
Oh.
rubbing it against the wall for being gay?" He's like, "Let's not talk about that." I'm like, "So are you a top or a bottom?" He's like, "Let's not talk about that. So you're a bottom." I'm like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Yep, well, I told you, karma's a bitch."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, to answer your question, it really it does surprise me, because they're not just people on the internet, they're people that you get to know and you learn about their lives and you get to celebrate their victories with them, and you know what I mean? Like, these are real humans who are really actually cool people that I would love to have as my friends, and they come into my life and they hang out with me, and it's just
Yeah. And you have people from all over the world though.
exactly. There's always a friend online no matter what time I log on.
Yeah. Like we're in opposite time zones, like opposite hemispheres as well.
I mean, there are sometimes that I feel so. I know that I've spoken to other streamers, and again, I don't want to mention
Yeah.
names because I don't know if they
You can say letters like A, B, or yeah.
No, I'll just say streamers that I love, that I think are amazing, people who have really shown me a lot of support from the
Yeah.
very beginning and still do now. I know that they struggle with those same feelings. I know that to an extent it's normal. And when someone who I think is just so cool and funny and warm is saying to me that they know how I feel when I say that I'm feeling like I'm not good enough and that I'm not doing enough and that I should be doing more, when they tell me that they have those same feelings, it's comforting in a way, because I don't think that about them. So maybe there are people who just don't think that way about me, who think that I am enough and that I am doing the right thing. You don't sound so sure.
I don't sound so sure about 90% of the things.
I just feel really lucky and really grateful,
Yeah.
and just the social side means so much when I spend. I mean, I have some really amazing friends that I've made in my adult life, especially since having my daughter.
Yeah.
She's had friends that have known her since she was 3 months old, and thankfully the mums are just really amazing people in their own right, who I have just a fantastic time talking to and hanging out with, regardless of whether or not our kids are there together. And when our kids are there together, our kids get along too. It's an ideal scenario. But at night, when I've got my empty house and my daughter's in bed, and I just know that I can go onto the internet, and if I'm not streaming, there'll be someone there to hang out with, and
Yeah.
You know what I mean. It's just, I
You're
feel like I always have a friend.
You're known online to be like a serial lurker as well. So
I'd love to be more active in people's chats, but
yeah, it's understandable.
it was hard enough just with a toddler, because I mean, there are 3 things that make it really hard. Being Australian, no one streams at a convenient time for Australians. Let's be honest. Not even Australians do.
I mean, it's down under, so we don't blame you.
And then when I have so many friends who all stream at the same time, like, who do I pick? Who do I pick to be active in?
If they
It's
stream,
so
if they
hard.
stream every day, for example, you could just like divide your time like I do, One week I focus on someone, the next week I focus on someone else. If I'm modding for people,
Most of the time when people start streaming, it's before I wake up and
Yeah.
well after I fall asleep, and it's usually in the middle of my day. So I've got to take my baby out to play groups and to swim lessons, and then she comes home and both of us desperately need a nap. And I'm going to have a second baby soon, and it's going to be even more hectic. So I know that if I just
Yeah.
get in the habit of doing what I can to support my friends, which at the moment is just lurking and saying hi when I can, it's one of those things that if you have kids of your own, you know what I mean.
Yeah. And Bubbles
Until you have
was
kids, you don't know
Yeah.
how full on it is.
and Bubbles was in my stream earlier. She said something about like I mentioned you that we're gonna be recording. Oh, that no
Oh
no
yeah,
no.
she asked me
Yeah.
about that when I popped into her stream.
Yeah, no, I was like, yeah, so one thing I do is I refund your points. She's like, I refund my points as well. I'm like, yeah, don't tell Quill that. She's like, I think the boss is lurking, so let's not mention that. I'm like, I love how you call her boss.
Oh, Bubbles is so sweet.
Yeah,
I have the coolest mods. I
yeah,
really do.
yeah. So, your streams tend to be wild sometimes, whether it's you causing funny chaos in games you play, or chat just causing shenanigans that lead to random laughter, or even Buttsbot. And Buttsbot did something
Buttsbot.
very funny today in my stream. So our friend Daffodil came by,
Yeah.
and she asked me how was my week, and guess what Buttsbot replied?
Oh no.
How was your butt?
I love Buttsfoot. There are a couple of things that kind of tipped me over the edge as far as deciding that I did want to stream goes, and one of them was actually Buttspot. I just loved the idea of Buttspot, and the other one was knowing that I could add random sound commands.
Yeah, same here.
And I will say, Buttspot is definitely not as funny as when I first started, but still you just get some absolute corkers, and how do you
Yeah.
not find them funny?
At one time, I said I have an itch on my nose, and then in
I remember that one actually.
in Karma's stream, I called them out because they
Yeah.
were already guests on my channel, on my podcast. So I said,
Karma's another
Buttsbots,
just amazing person.
yeah. They changed it to I have an itch on my butt, and she pinned the Buttsbot thing.
I remember that one.
Yeah. So what's the weirdest, funniest thing that chat said or did that you cannot forget?
Honestly, my chat is really sweet. A lot of it is just I save a lot of, and I'm pretty open about the fact that I do this.
And most of
but
your chat
sometimes
is
people
us
say-
shouting out Danny as well.
Yeah. Oh, I love that my mods just shout out people who don't even stream. It always makes me laugh. But my chat are really sweet actually. Oh, there is something really weird that happened, but it's not really my chat. It was just someone that just randomly came in and then DM'd me. I don't know if I can talk about it though. Is there other topics?
If it happened to you and it's like you feel like it's within like something.
It was just weird.
Yeah. It's like
It was
weird.
just I had someone slide into my I'd not even been streaming for that long. I think it was even maybe before I'd met you.
Okay.
This person slides into my DMs and asks me how much I will sell my jarred farts for.
Oh, you've told me this story before.
I was like, what in the flip does it why? What about my streams gives you the impression that I'm gonna sell farts to you? Like,
I mean, you do have the fart tag on your streams.
I've actually had so many people find my chat through that tag, and one of them was, I am gonna say this username because it would only make sense if I do. I just came here to fart.
Yeah.
They popped into my chat and they're like, why do you have a fart tag? And I'm like, do exclamation fart, and they did, and it was great.
Yeah.
And they pop back every now and then, literally just to fart.
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them in a while though.
Yeah, but they've always been like that. They come and go when's convenient for them. You never know
Yeah.
what people have on in their personal lives. I do miss people if I don't see them a lot, but there are some people that you would feel comfortable saying, hey, I haven't seen you in ages. I'm not saying that you have to be in my stream or anything, but I just want to make sure you're okay. And then there are some people that you just don't have that relationship with.
Yeah.
So you just kind of just think about them
Yeah.
quietly.
Yeah.
And you know you'll see them when you see them.
Yeah. So, do you remember what was the very first game you ever streamed?
I'm pretty sure it was a retro game. I'm quietly confident that it was maybe Hexen 2.
Uh-huh.
Which is a game that my sister and I have both played since childhood.
Yeah. So I know you like Star Wars, and I have a picture of Voldemort up in my room. You know, I have a picture of Voldemort from Star Wars up in my room.
I did play the Star Wars games pretty dang early.
You don't get the joke, do you?
No. Are you making a Star Wars Harry Potter reference?
Voldemort is not in Star Wars. So how do I have a picture of Voldemort from Star Wars in my bedroom?
I didn't hear you say the from Star Wars bit. Oh, blues. I swear like 90% of my relationship with you is you making the worst jokes imaginable and me just going, oh, blue.
We did that joke earlier today, Cactus.
Do you know what we need? Blues. Do you know what we need in my stream? We need that as a soundbite where anyone in chat can just do like, oh, blue.
You can do it with your voice. And the
no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying. We need that as a soundbite.
Do it, and then exclamation mark O, like OH.
Yeah, and it can come with a counter that just counts how many times we've rolled our eyes.
like Jeff has a redeem for like how many times they said penis, for example.
I'm the one that made that redeem. Yeah. I'm quite familiar with it. Oh, I love Jeff.
Yeah, he's gonna be a guest on my show soon, but he's been streaming so much, and I scolded him today. I told him like, if you're tired, end stream because he's sick. He has like a chest infection, and he was live for 7 hours.
Jeez, he needs to be resting. That's serious.
Yeah. He's not gonna stream tomorrow, but he has work. I scolded him today, and if I get unmodded after that, I was like, fuck it, it's for the sake. But then he goes and says like, thank me and Rebel for being there as well. So like, because others weren't always available. So you mostly do Sims and Skyrim, from what I remember, as well as DBD. What other games are you willing to play on stream in the future?
I'm kind of happy to play anything. I just tend to stick with games that don't take up too much of my attention because I'm mostly there just to hang out with my chat. But I'm not the sort of person who could just do a just chatting stream for a couple of hours. I wouldn't have enough interesting things to say.
Oh, you will. Don't worry. It will come with like the amount of things chat says that I read. We could write a book with it, actually.
I can't believe we have over 400 quotes and it hasn't even been 2 years yet. It just...
You can turn it into a novel, by the way. Like, just use them and turn it into a novel. That will be a bestseller.
But, I kind of play a little bit of everything. I love playing my horror games. I love playing... I feel like I've been neglecting Sims and Skyrim for a bit, so that's why I brought Skyrim out again the other day. I just kind of like playing games where there's no specific beginning and end, or that's really short and has a specific beginning and end. I really enjoy playing the Resident. A lot of the games I play, honestly, are games that my chat gift me and say, I think you'll like this, you should give it a go. And then I do. Such as,
oh, you're gonna love...
I got Skyrim for myself because it was one of my sister's favourite. I played Supermarket Simulator because some fantastic person gifted that to me.
I wonder who that dork is.
With the Sims, I got gifted a lot of Sims packs. I've been gifted probably more Sims packs than I've bought for myself. I'm like, you guys are just so generous. I got gifted the Star Wars games, so I played those. I got gifted so many games, all the Resident Evil ones.
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight was a gift. Like, everyone knows that I'm just I'm not poor, but you know what I mean. Like, all my money goes to my kids, not to me buying games for myself. So I would be very limited if I didn't have so many generous friends. But I've certainly got enough games that I would be fine to not have anyone gift me any more games for the next 5 years. I would have plenty. I really want to play Summoner. Someone gifted me Alien and Predator. Benji and the Dark Revival, I've got that on my list. I've got Cry of Fear that I still need to play. and then like
Yeah.
Echoes of Madness. I really want to do more Don't Starve together. I'd like to do that with you again.
Yeah, we can do
Um,
that. Also, Shads told me that he did that, but he doesn't know what he's doing. I told him, like, hit me up. I have like more than 1,000 hours in this game.
yeah.
So maybe
I'll be on the
you,
list to learn.
maybe you, me, and Shads can do that at some point.
I've probably got more than 20 games that I've yet to play.
Yeah. So how did you decide on what content you're going to be streaming?
I just want to play with what I want to play. And I know that if you want to build community and if you want to get growth, you play the same game consistently. But I
Or
just
the same
want
genre,
nice
yeah.
people. I just want nice people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like we're doing a really good job of that. I feel like we've got like just a really sweet, supportive community of people who love each other, support each other.
You're
and
killing it, actually. You're almost at 3K followers. And when I met you, you were
which
like 1,000.
me. It surprises me so much. I know that I hit 2.6 on my stream, my 1 year of streaming,
Yeah.
which surprised me. Do you know what my goal was? 500.
I know.
I was desperately hoping that I would hit 500 followers, and I don't even really check anymore. My mods tell me every now and then what I'm on.
Yeah. You're
but
on 2.9 at the moment.
That's crazy. I was 2.7 last time someone told me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things like the numbers don't really matter because you see people with like 50,000 followers and they only have 4 people in their stream, and even that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many people are there. What matters is the quality of people that you have there. And I feel like my community are just people that I trust and love and get really excited to see. And for me, that's the most important thing to me. I at this stage I can't say, oh, I couldn't care less if there was 1 or 5 people there. I want to see the same people again and again, and I get really excited when I see them. So when I don't, I do kind of feel a bit like, oh, I wonder what they're up to today, or I hope they're having fun with what they're doing. Because I know time zones and all the rest of it, it's not convenient all the time. And, but
I want to talk.
When you get to know these people, you start missing them, you know?
Yeah, I want to talk about a certain someone who's like a mutual friend of ours, who's an amazing person. He's really weird in a funny way. Storm. He comes out with like a lot of random shit. Like he makes my stomach hurt from laughing.
Funny.
Yeah.
I don't know how he comes up with some of the things that he says. He's so like witty and quick.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Were you there the other day? I was like, what did I say about him? I said, I'm surprised Storm doesn't have like 4 wives by now. And then someone was like, because that would be like polygamy and that's illegal. And I said, but for Storm, women wouldn't mind.
I heard that. I remember even me standing up and closing the balcony windows, like, and you saying that. I was like, oh God, that would be a thing if you lived in the Middle East. Yeah. So, what are your limits regarding your streams? Like, what would piss you off? What's the big no-no? What would get someone banned?
Honestly, as you probably have seen from experience, you've been my mod for at least, I would say at least 10 months now.
Maybe 11, I think, because you gave me...
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, you gave me VIP shortly, then mod.
Yeah, I know it wasn't that long after we met. We've known each other for just over a year now.
Yeah.
But you've probably seen, I don't like it when people pick on each other. People pick on me and I'm just kind of like, trying to let it pass. But if people pick on my community, on each other, or start bullying each other in chat, that's when I start getting my sassy pants on.
What if people pick their noses?
Well, I can't see it in chat anyway, so...
Okay, fair enough.
Fine.
Fair enough. So, what games you'd never see yourself playing?
Do you know, I said that about The Sims. I was like, I'm never going to be a Sims streamer, and then half of you know me as a Sims streamer now, so I can't really say that there's anything I absolutely wouldn't play.
Yeah. What can we expect from you on Twitch in the future?
Consistency.
How many hours a day or per week do you spend on Twitch in general, not only streaming?
Well, if you count my lurk hours, I'm literally on 24/7.
Yeah.
I really just want to show support to my friends. I know that it's not going to be a match. People have lives and people have jobs that need them to leave the house. Even I can't lurk everyone that I want to because, sometimes I'm out of the house or sometimes I'm asleep when they start and raids don't take me there. But I just really want to continue to be as supportive as possible and to keep playing games that I find interesting and to just keep building friendships. Of everything that I do, they are definitely my goals. Just meeting amazing people, having fun, and playing games that we can all enjoy together.
Yeah. So to the new people out there who are just started streaming or are thinking about it, what's one advice you'd want to give them?
Don't look at your numbers.
A lot of people have said that, and I agree.
Yeah, it is the advice that I was given, and I could not agree with it more. The amount of stress that dissipated when I just stopped looking, even now. Because on one hand, it doesn't matter. We all start from somewhere. There are so many people out there doing it. If the only reason that you're streaming is for numbers, you're never going to be happy on Twitch.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna switch segments because I'm really curious to pick your mind about something. So I've added a fun little mini game before we continue. It's in this mini game I will name a set of 3 games each time. You will have to tell me which one you'd play forever, which one you'd delete from existence, and which one you'd uninstall. It's kind of like Sleep with Mary or Kill. Yeah. And that also includes the whole franchise.
Okay.
Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Battlefield.
Okay. I've played Counter-Strike more than any of those other options, so I'd probably play Counter-Strike.
Okay.
I actually had a lot of fun playing Counter-Strike. I used to do the the proper little quests and everything.
Yeah. So
I've never played.
Yeah.
I know that was the other one Call of Duty.
Yeah. Call of Duty and Battlefield.
I know Coffee loves Call of Duty, so I would never do that to him. And
well, you could keep it as
I've played with him. I played Modern Warfare 2 or 3, and I would have that as my other bit. Battlefield, I have not played. I've played it twice. No, I don't even think it was Battlefield. It was Medal of Honor or something. I don't think I've ever played that, so that is why I would choose to delete it, just because I personally have never had any experience with it.
Yeah, they're all similar anyways. So Apex, Fortnite, Valorant.
Oh my god.
It's gonna get harder.
These games are ones that I have never played, but I have friends who play them, so I'm just trying to think of what would work best.
No, it's your choice, regardless of
I'd probably
your friends.
delete Apex.
Yeah.
Maybe play Fortnite.
Yeah. And Valorant.
Yeah.
Uninstall or play once and uninstall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna hate me on the next one.
Oh god.
Doom, Quake, Diablo.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Quake, play. Doom, play and uninstall. And I know that there are going to be so many people hating me for this, but delete Diablo.
Pokemon, Pal World, and Temtem.
Okay, I've never played the third one, so that's an easy delete.
I agree with that because it's like a very cheap version of them. I don't know how people played it. I literally had to sell my clothes in the game just to get money to be able to go on, and still it's horrible.
Yeah. I've not really played that much Pokemon, but I know my sister really enjoys it, so I'd say probably like play once and uninstall.
Okay. And Power World, of course, play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've played Power World a couple of times at least because of you and Blood.
Yeah, you've never streamed it though.
No. Oh, I streamed it once.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Voodoo May joined me for a little bit. It was great.
yeah, so Valheim, Stardew, Minecraft.
I've only played Minecraft, so I would probably say keep Minecraft.
Okay.
Stardew, I know a lot of people love that game, so maybe like play once and uninstall.
You should do that as well.
And then
Valheim, I agree with you
I'm
because
pretty sure Shads has played that, hasn't he?
I don't know.
Maybe it just sounds like something he'd play.
I played it when I was gifted it by through a friend, and then I refunded
I've
it.
seen someone play it.
I refunded it.
Yeah. So that's my opinion there.
Okay. So I want you to be calm on the next one or the next two because they're games you love. The Sims, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Palia.
Right, keep The Sims.
Yeah. Disney Dreamlight Valley and Palia.
I'd probably play Palia once and delete.
Or uninstall, yeah.
And uninstall, yeah. And then delete
Disney Dreamlight
Disney.
Valley. Okay, DVD, TCM, and Evil Dead the Game.
What was the second one?
TCM, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, do you know, I actually haven't played that, but I want to, so I'm going to put that as my play once and uninstall. DVD
Okay.
keep, because so many of my friends played it, and I love playing it with them.
Yeah, and of course, delete one of my favorite games.
Sorry.
It's fine. Phasmophobia, Demonologist, Devour.
Oh, this one's tough.
Oh, it's gonna get tougher.
I'd probably keep Phas, just because, again, the majority of my friends prefer it.
Yeah.
Delete... like, play once and delete Devour. Because I do prefer Devour to Demonologist, just because of that one time that demon killed me through the front door. That was just very... that was just very rude, you know?
That was a front door demon.
Don't you remember I was playing with Undergamer and some others, and
Yeah.
yeah, came straight through the door and killed me.
Yeah. Lethal Company, Dead Space, Mass Effect.
Play Mass Effect. Play once and uninstall Lethal Company, and then
delete Dead Space.
Dead Space.
Okay. Alan Wake, Resident Evil, The Evil Within.
I haven't played Alan Wake, but I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I really do want to play it.
The first one is so bad.
Play once and uninstall. Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick that one for my play once and uninstall.
Yeah. And Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, I will keep as my like play because I really enjoyed playing that.
Yeah.
And I've still got like 8 more to play.
Yeah.
And then I don't actually know what the third one was.
Evil Within.
Evil Within. I haven't played that.
Okay.
I don't think.
Fair
Maybe
enough.
I have.
Fair enough.
I don't remember it, and that's enough.
Yeah. Visage, Madison,
Yep.
Five Nights at Freddy's, which sounds like a gay porn movie.
Oof. I want to play Visage, even though it kind of scares me. Delete Five Nights at Freddy's and
Yep.
play once and uninstall Madison. Just because I think once is enough for Madison.
Yeah. Dead Island, Left 4 Dead, Dying Light.
What was the first one?
Dead Island.
Delete Dead Island. Play Dying Light. And was the other one
Uninstall.
Left 4 Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, uninstall.
Okay.
This is hard.
Fall Guys, Party Animals, It Takes Two.
Okay, I really hope Lily never hears this. Play once and uninstall Party Animals. Sorry, Lily. It's only fun when I play with you.
And me. I played it once with you as well. We should play
You
that
kept
again.
forgetting that I was on your team and killing me.
Oh,
We should play again. It was
Yeah.
really fun. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And then keep Fall Guys.
Yeah, and It Takes Two.
Delete.
Okay. Cyberpunk.
I haven't played it, so
Yeah.
that's, you know.
Yeah. Cyberpunk, GTA, Saints Row.
Delete Saints Row, play once and uninstall Cyberpunk, and then keep GTA again, because most of my friends play it.
I agree to disagree, but okay. Last but not least, Hogwarts Legacy, Assassin's Creed, Tomb Raider.
Oh, that's hard. The old school Tomb Raiders or the new ones?
All of them.
Okay, keep Tomb Raider. I love, like, number 3 was my favorite.
If you're gonna say number 2, I was gonna say, are you calling it a poo?
I mean, oh, loose. So yeah, keep Tomb Raider. Play and uninstall Assassin's Creed.
And delete Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I haven't played Hogwarts Legacy, and my sister is super into Harry Potter, but I've never really been that big of a Harry Potter fan.
You've never been sent to Azkaban?
I know my mum and my sister are huge. Is it Potterheads?
Potterheads, yeah. I am
Yeah,
one.
I get it. Like, it's a really cool concept and super fun, and there's a lot you can do with it. Like, I'm not here to yuck anyone else's yum. It's just never really gripped me the way that it has many others.
I love how people say I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum.
I know, it's one of my favorite sentences.
Yeah. Now we're gonna do like a lightning round / pop quiz about yourself.
Oh god.
Do you mind telling me and the listeners what's your daily routine? Something you always like to do has become regular?
Does lurking count?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think that is the one thing I consistently do nearly every day. I wake up, I make my daughter breakfast, I come in, I set up my lurk tabs, then we spend our morning playing, and then come back, set up my lurk tabs, have a nap.
Yeah.
And then play all afternoon, then set up my lurk tabs and go to bed, and then I just check one more time before I go to sleep.
Okay. What's your favorite comfort food of all time?
Ooh, spaghetti bolognese.
What's one thing you tell yourself often?
That other people probably don't care about things as much as I do, but in a positive way, I'm here stressing about, I don't know, my hair not looking perfect today, but literally no one's going to be looking at my hair and caring.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
I mean, you always have...
Reminding myself that people just don't care.
You always have a stunning hair.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
I think I'm just lucky that it's so thick that
That's what she said.
that people just don't notice anything beyond that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't tangle very easily because it's so thick, so that is really useful.
Yeah. If you ever were to be any object or creature, real or fictional, what would you be and why?
Any. Well, that's a really tough one. I think that the ocean is absolutely freaking terrifying, so definitely nothing water related.
Yeah. I would...
Beautiful, but terrifying.
I would actually be either a cactus or a unicorn with 2 horns and wings. You can skip the question. I don't mind. Okay. So what's your biggest pet peeve?
People who don't let you finish your sentence before they start arguing.
Oh
with
my
you.
god.
And
I'm gonna argue with you right now.
Specifically in arguments. As someone with ADHD who has ADHD friends, interruptions are just going to happen. They're just a part of life.
Yeah.
But when you're like trying to
Prove a point.
express something or tell them about something or just like give them your side of the events and they interrupt you,
Yeah.
it's like, could you just wait another minute for me
Yeah.
to just finish that off before you do that?
Yeah. What if this was the
And the
last
other one is people who are really, really judgmental and
Yeah.
come to me wanting to gossip. Like, come to me if you want to know how to communicate better. Come
Yeah.
to me if you want to just get something off your chest, but not in a mean way, just in a, oh, this happened and I'm feeling really stressed about it kind of way. Yeah, awesome. But I don't want to hear,
You don't want to hear the
Like-
tea being spilled?
yeah, so to speak. Like, everyone needs a safe space and a safe person to talk to.
Yeah.
But there's a line between a safe place to talk to and you just bagging out something.
Gossiping, yeah.
It makes you really uncomfortable, like
Yeah.
really uncomfortable.
If this was the last day on Earth, what would you do and how would you spend it?
Oh my god, I would spend the whole time crying that my daughter never got to grow up.
Aw.
I'd probably take her to a farm and let her pat the alpacas for as long as she wanted.
Okay.
Or maybe I'd buy a flight over to see my husband. Or no, I'd get him to come fly here. And then we'd all go to the farm together and just spend the whole day at the farm with her.
Okay. In your opinion, what do you think is the worst invention ever?
Dimension?
Invention.
Oh. Ooh. Probably some of those kitchen tools that have absolutely no use.
Fair enough.
But there's always going to be one person who finds it useful.
Yeah.
And there are things that you don't realize when it comes to that. Like, it may seem useless to me, but maybe it really helps someone with a certain disability or a certain,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. There's been that some products online that like, I was like, why do they even exist? There's something called the carrot warmer. Like, why do you want to warm your carrots? Aren't they like
Carrot warmer? That sounds disgusting.
carrot warmer? Yeah, you warm your carrots.
Okay, consider me disgusted.
I know. So, what's one thing you cannot live without?
Good. I'm gonna sound so cliched, my baby girl.
Not cliche at all.
I'm so obsessed with her.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I'll like go to drop her off at her playgroup and she's just like, bye mama. And meanwhile I'm like sobbing on my way out the door.
Aw.
She doesn't care. She's just having a great time with her friends.
She's like, oh yeah, my mom's sobbing. Ugh, she's such a drama queen. No, I'm joking.
Well, I try not to cry when she can see me.
It's okay.
But, you know, like everyone else says, she runs straight to her favorite toys, has an amazing time. She's only there for a couple of hours, and you know, the ladies are all so wonderful.
Yeah.
But then there's me just like not wanting to leave my baby behind, even though I know
Yeah.
it's best for her.
Okay, so, ma'am, do you want your favorite toys? So, besides gaming, what are your favorite hobbies?
Who has time for hobbies? No. I like cooking and eating. Is eating a hobby?
I mean, as long as you're moving your mouth, it is a hobby.
I used to sew, but I haven't really been able to do that as much. Since Snuggie was born.
Yeah, so we can safely say that sewing or being able to sew is so time confusing or consuming.
Yeah, I actually used to attend a sewing group.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, please. I used to attend a sewing group and it wasn't like lessons or anything like that, but we'd all just kind of hang out together and sew.
Yeah,
And it was really nice.
yeah. So what's your comfort off-stream game?
It was so nice.
Yeah.
Off stream,
Yeah.
you will probably see me playing the games I personally feel are like a boring to stream.
Which are
So you'll probably see me playing like
Dead by Daylight.
Skyrim, Dead by Daylight, and Sims.
Sims are not boring.
No, I'm not saying The Sims is boring to stream. Let me give you the explanation on The Sims. Because there are some things that you can't stream, you know?
Yeah.
Like, who wants to see my boring, like, 5th playthrough? I'm doing a playthrough as Mama-Laws at the moment where, not even deliberately, like, she had nothing to do with it. I was playing as some random creator sim dude, and then, he was trying to do the rags to riches thing by painting, and we came across Laws, and I was like, oh, perfect, we'll just move in with her, and she can be our model, so we've just been painting Laws for money.
Yeah, no, I would watch that, honestly. You should
I was telling her about it the other day.
You should stream that. I'm honestly...
I'm really nervous to do Sims playthroughs because there are so many just amazing Sim streamers out there.
You know I do mostly Sims, like, playthroughs. I do build, but I don't find building that appealing to me because at some point it's like the randomest, funniest shit happens. One time I was sitting by myself during a stream, and then Darth Maul comes by, and then that vampire, what's his name, Vladis something, comes by, and he sits with us. So Darth Maul says something like, I don't know, Vlad chokes on his drink, then turns into a bat and disappears. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
I am so scared.
Don't be scared, no. It is so randomly funny. Like, remember when you did the dollhouse thingy and I started dancing randomly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Yeah, so these are the moments that people will love to watch. Like, you have to just branch out in The Sims. Not only do people like also do gameplays that attracts new crowd as well. So So what would you do with $1 million?
I've thought about this a lot, actually. I mean, if you're up to me personally, I didn't have to worry about anyone else, I would probably just pay off my mortgage.
Okay.
And or buy a house in the state that I live in now, because the house that I have is back where I thought I would be living.
Okay.
But I think that given how everything is at the moment, I would probably want to invest it in my husband's business.
Yeah. So what's the worst video game you've ever played?
The worst?
Yeah, the worst.
The worst in a funny way, or the worst? Just
Your
worst?
choice. Your choice. The worst, just worse.
Oh, there are so many really bad ones.
Yeah. Mine is probably something very controversial that I play with you as well, which is Dead by Daylight. I find the concept amusing, but it's so stupid.
I feel like the developers could put a lot more attention into it, and they don't.
I mean, if you turn it a little bit into like maybe a combat based, like where you could actually not run away from the killer, but actually try to hurt the killer, or maybe do stuff other than
That's what my dad said about Phasmophobia. He said, so when can I kill the ghost? I was like, bless.
Isn't the ghost already dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe he should play Demonologist, because at some point you get to kill the ghost.
Yeah, that's what I said to him. There
Yeah.
are a lot of really bad games out there.
Yeah.
Probably but it might be bad to me, but it won't be bad to someone else.
Yeah.
Like, for example, was that one getting over it? Oh my god, that game was painful. But there are some people who absolutely freaking love it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've already asked this question. What's one thing
And
you
KOTOR really bored me, but my sister loved it more than any other game that she's ever played.
which one?
KOTOR? Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that game is, but okay.
That's a Star Wars one.
Oh, okay. So what's one thing you spend a lot of money on besides games?
My kids.
Of course. Okay, what's one big red flag you can't handle in a person?
When they have a small fight with someone and blow it out of proportion and talk to every single other person in the universe about it.
So what's one
You
of
hear about it from like multiple people and it just starts this big spiral of gossip. Just talk to one person that you trust about it if you really need to get it off your chest.
Yeah. So this question is like split into 3 parts. What's one of your all-time favorite songs?
Ooh. I really like Reptilia by the Strokes. I like so many
Big
songs.
butts
I
and
grew
I
up
cannot
listening to
lie.
Linkin Park, and now I listen to lots of Queens of the Stone Age and Tool. So
Yeah. So what's one of your all-time favorite movies?
movies. Ooh. I haven't really watched that many movies because I just keep falling asleep during them.
Yeah.
But there's one that I watched with a friend that I thought was pretty fun, and that was what was it? Had Jack Nicholson in it
I don't know.
and Matt Damon and
I don't remember.
Leonardo DiCaprio, and they're cops.
I don't remember.
It's a really good movie. I just can't think of what it's called.
Same here.
I like
Okay.
that one.
It's okay. We can just move on to the next one. What's one of your all-time favorite TV shows or series?
Well, do you know what? It's called The Departed.
Oh, okay.
And I also want to add The Lion King to that, just because it's like my comfort movie that I used to watch with my sister, and every time I see my sister, we watch it.
Yeah. What did you think of the live-action one?
I actually just didn't see it because she saw it and said that it was really bad, so I just trusted her and didn't see it.
Yeah.
TV show wise, again, I'm not really a big screen time person. I mean, the screen time that I have is gaming or streaming or lurking.
Yeah.
There have been shows that I found funny, but I feel like TV shows drag on for too long because they're making a lot of money, to the point where it goes past where it was good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like some of them just need to quit while they're ahead. But what do I know?
Yeah.
I'm one opinion.
Yeah.
I don't really watch a lot of TV. I grew up not watching a lot of TV, and it's just kind of carried on into my adulthood.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I'm really boring.
You're not boring. Shut up.
I feel boring.
No, you're not. So, if your life was ever to be either a movie, a TV show, or a video game, what would it be named, and why that name?
What would my
Life. If your life was ever to be a movie, a game, a TV show.
Oh god, utter chaos.
Yeah, mine would be what the fuck.
ADHD. Mine would be like ADHD the musical.
The musical. The farting musical.
Oh.
Yeah. if you had one special superpower, what would it be and why, and how would you spend it? And how would you, use it?
Can you do that again but slower?
If you had one special superpower. If you had one special superpower.
I have two answers to this. One of them is a cop-out answer, and the other one is maybe like a more answer that you're looking for.
Hit me.
So I always said that it would be really freaking useful to have the superpower of being able to make other people see themselves the way I see them, so that when I just give them a compliment, they can see that I'm being sincere about it. Like, how handy would that be?
Yep.
Like, if I could just say, wow, you're really beautiful, like, you're really funny, or you're really smart, or I just think you're a great person, they'd be like, oh, wow, I never thought about it like that, and now I can see what you're seeing, and I see it myself. Like, that would be so freaking useful. Tell me that would not be really useful.
Yep, it is useful.
And then...
Mine would be teleportation, actually. But you have to earn it or learn it. Like, you can't. Not everybody should be allowed to learn teleportation. Otherwise, we'd have criminals in our houses. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically.
I think that otherwise, teleportation would be cool, but it also sounds really freaking painful.
I mean, not that much, but still.
I reckon invisibility would be pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it would be useful. Like, if you just want some time to yourself and you don't want people interrupting you, you could just go invisible.
Yeah.
Like, if you're really trying hard to finish off the last little bit of your book before you do something, or you want to eat your lunch and you don't want people watching you eat, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It'd be really good for someone with anxiety.
Yeah. So if you could choose where you'd be born, what country would you pick and why?
I really like that I was born in Australia. My grandparents and my parents both worked really hard so that I could grow up here. So I can't imagine anywhere I'd rather be.
Okay. Who's your all-time favorite celebrity crush?
There are so many good ones.
You know my two. You already know my two.
Yeah. You have good ones. There are people that I think are really attractive.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's as someone, I know a lot of people will relate to this. I find it really hard to find people attractive if I don't know their real personalities.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's too hard for me to answer.
Yeah, we can skip it. What are some of
boring you, Lucy.
No. Honestly, no. I'm just like a little bit tired with like my day so far. Yeah.
I understand. I was just teasing you.
I know. So if you had why do I keep asking this question? If you could choose one celebrity to switch lives with for one day, from our modern day, like someone who's like let's say famous on TikTok, maybe a reality TV show person, for example, I choose Kim Kardashian just to swap lives with her for a day and maybe call her sisters bitches. Yeah,
that's a funny thought. There are a couple of people that come to mind. There's one girl, she's just a couple years younger than me, and she just is so like sweet and funny, but I would want to be like her friend, not her. Who would I want to be for the day? Someone with access to really, really great clothing, and I could just be like a live dress-up doll.
That's interesting.
So like a model or something. I want to play dress ups. I am like well, not every, but I'm like most little girls at heart who just want to play with their dress up.
So Barbie.
You know what? Sure, I'd do that.
Okay.
Who has a bigger wardrobe than Barbie?
Well, true. So what are some of your plans for 2024?
I mean, having a baby.
That's the biggest one.
That's probably roughly 5 months away now. Holy crap, when did that happen? What else?
I'm asking you, what else?
Trying to become a better friend and a better communicator.
Oh, you
All
do...
my goals are boring.
Hold on. You do a lot of communication. And Quill is absolutely amazing. Like, if there was no communication between Quill and I, we wouldn't have been here today. She would have been like one of those people who just like thrown me at the next intersection and like, okay, you go on. There's a lot of communication happening, and this woman knows how to communicate. Do not ever say better communication, please. Honestly, like, I've never seen someone...
We can always improve.
No. Yes.
I just want to look for, because there'll be... I want to manage my time better, and I will be off my ADHD meds until the second kids stopped feeding. So it's probably like a good 3 years. So I just really need to work on how to manage my symptoms and organize myself without having anyone else to rely on except myself. And that's been a really difficult journey. So just about becoming more organized and less reactive to things, because as you know, like, as much as I try not to be, I can be really sensitive and things can really upset me. And then I do try and talk about it most of the time, but sometimes you just know that the other person didn't mean what they said or doesn't mean it that way. So talking to them is pointless because they didn't mean to hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just about having the strength to kind of give myself a slap and go.
Yeah. Using just one or two words. How you describe 2023? Mine would be fuck off.
Mixed bag. Mixed bag.
Wow. So what event impacted your life in 2023? Whether it's good or bad, it's your choice.
Feeling like I was finally making really good friends.
Nice. That's cute. Now we're gonna go into the mental health part of the whole segment, which is the last part of the whole segment. I can talk of the whole part of the whole episode. In this segment, we will be talking about mental health, some sensitive subjects, which can be triggering, of course. If you do feel bothered, you can either dip, skip, or just like shut off the podcast at some point, because some terms that have been used previously can be very very harsh, as I can say. Mental health is not an easy subject to talk about. Today we're going to talk about ADHD, depression, and anxiety. Quill, you are like you and I, of course, we're like neurospicy. How has ADHD impacted your life?
In every single way imaginable.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a kid, I didn't really understand anything. I was first diagnosed when I was 8. My parents took the advice that was popular at that time, and since then there has been a lot more advice, a lot more openness, and a lot less stigma on it. So the information available to us now is completely different to back then. So I'll kind of focus more on now rather than, you know, I mean, I wish I could go back in time and start my medication earlier and do everything differently, but that's not an option. And if I did go back in time, we wouldn't have the now information, so it would still probably be the same. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So it has issues with, it has also, relations with depression as well.
Yeah, so basically, women don't have much research. There's not much research done on women with mental health. It's all based around men, which is why it's harder to diagnose women and why they often get diagnosed so much later in life.
Yeah.
Which is really, really frustrating for a lot of us. And in Australia, it's very expensive, and there aren't very many doctors who are willing to actually maintain the medication. And when you do find someone who is, the medication's often out of stock. So it's just an absolute mess over here. So you're basically on your own, unless you want to spend lots of money and time and basically fight for yourself.
Yeah. I feel.
Yeah, it's really hard because it's not just a mental issue. It's actually a physical change in your brain, and it's something that people think that they understand, but often they don't. And it's one of those things, like, there are so many mental health disorders that people almost make fun of in a way, even if they don't see it that way. They will say things like, oh, I wish I had ADHD because then this or then that, and that's just not how it works.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, wouldn't it be lovely if it was some sort of superpower where it was only benefits, but it's not. Like, you're always distracted. You've got the memory of a piece of Swiss cheese. You are always fighting for emotional regulation. Women, especially who have ADHD, often struggle with even just really weird things like temperature management, like how hot and cold you feel at a time. Because of the way women struggle to get diagnosis, and it often go untreated, and then you end up with things like depression and anxiety. It's also really common for you to have PMDD. It's really common for people with ADHD to have POT. There are just all these like side diagnoses that I've been finding later on in life, that I thought that I had a million things wrong with me, but it turns out that I just have ADHD, and all this other stuff is because I have ADHD.
Oh yeah. I can relate.
I'm not saying that's not the same for men, but I can't speak for men, obviously.
I can relate to that factor because at some point, I said this as well in a previous episode, but like at some point I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 6. So growing up, it was difficult because I was called out at school by the headmaster for being crazy just because I take meds.
I think that where it happens to you has such an impact on it as well.
And the time period as well. So that was in the 2000s. Back then, people weren't as aware as they are now, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I think as well, like I said, women are often diagnosed much, much later in life. I think that the advantage that I had, even though I said like it was a completely different time, they had completely different information, and I'm sure things would be done differently if it was done now rather than back then.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I did have working for me is the fact that my dad was, like, he'd studied psychology. So he probably had a really good backing to get me checked out because he understood, whereas a lot of other people wouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's something I did really appreciate, is that they knew there was something up and did something about it, where a lot of families just wouldn't think to do that, wouldn't know, had enough information, which is why I think it's so important for us to talk about, because if we're not talking about it, then there are going to be more people who, because their families just never think to check.
Yeah. Some people...
And it's not one of those things that you can just deal with on your own. Like, you wouldn't tell someone with a broken leg to just deal with it.
Yeah.
it's like that with a lot of mental health things, and a lot of mental health things are invisible, but like I said, with things like ADHD, it's a literal
Invisible disability, yeah.
Yeah, but you can see physical differences in the brain development as well, and like in the way that we're actually missing like certain parts of our brain physically.
Yeah.
Or like they've developed differently, rather, not missing. But you know,
yeah,
it's dumb.
Yeah. I do feel that because, like, as I said, I myself was also struggling, but if it affects me in ways that sometimes I sit to myself and I think, like, why do I do this? Why do I do that? I overthink. That's what kills me. You know?
Learning that it's actually something that we're not suffering through alone is so comforting.
Yeah.
Just to know that there are other people out there that understand, and that acknowledgement is so important, because a lot of us, especially people who are undiagnosed, and often people who don't even who haven't considered the possibility that there might be something neurospicy going on, or live in countries where they basically get bullied for it. Especially like think that it's just them, and they get really depressed. Like I've met a lot of people, especially through Twitch, where they're just horribly depressed because they think that there's something wrong with them that's only wrong with them and no one else in the world. Because they live in places where mental health just can't be discussed, and no one will help them, or it's far too expensive to get help if they know that there is something going on.
So there's something I don't know if I shared with you, but like it scares me sometimes. Like I don't want you to get scared of it because it kind of relates to you as well. But like IRL, I had a best friend who was diagnosed but like unmedicated, and she was like a big mess. Every time I used to go somewhere with her, she used to be like, "Oh my God, let's leave. I'm bothered. Please, like somewhere I wanna be, somewhere I'm going, somewhere I chose." She's like, "I'm bothered. Please, I'm not getting." And she starts like berating me. She starts like belittling me. But when I go to a place she loves and she wants, and I start complaining, she's like, "Oh, go fuck yourself." She like enforces.
I don't like it when people use their mental health as a weapon.
No. But she was like very.
You never like know. How they really do feel inside. But at the same time, like, if someone's treating you badly, it doesn't matter what mental health condition that they have. If they can't find ways to compromise with you, and it doesn't mean doing everything that you. But it just means at least being able to talk to you nicely, at the very least, is something you should expect from all of your friends, regardless of what they've got going on mentally. Respect is something that should be automatic in friendships. Otherwise, can you call it a friendship?
It's not only that. It's like she was infatuated with that woman who also bullied her, because like that woman is married and she has 2 kids. And my friend, she kept following her. She even DM'd her. She even wrote a poem for her, telling her she wants to flirt with her, she wants to do stuff to her, and that woman bullied her. And I told you, like, get away from her. Then I tell her, like, okay, you're very toxic. You say you wanna like hang out, you put the music volume to 50, then you talk, you make my headache. Like, she's a whole mess. She's 33 now.
There's a difference between having mental health issues and just being a nasty person. And I feel like a lot of people hang on to relationships longer than they should because they think, oh, well, this person has mental health, and they kind of shoulder that burden themselves. At the end of the day, there are so many people who are struggling, whether or not you even know it, with mental health concerns. And a lot of them are going to be perfectly normal people who are perfectly kind to you. And they don't use their mental health as an excuse to be absolutely horrible to you.
I don't feel that. I feel like it's a mix of both, you know, like she might be nasty, and she might be using that nastiness through the ADHD thing, because like, okay, when you're unmedicated, you can't control yourself as well, you know. But like,
Because everyone knows what right and wrong is, and you can't
yeah,
treat someone like that and not know
yeah,
that it's wrong.
yeah. But like one time I was like, where we're going somewhere, she was like, "Oh, today this happened and that." Like, I started shaking from all the negativity. I'm like, "Please, can I go down?" She's like, "No, you're not. We're gonna go have fun. We're gonna go. Let's be cheerful." I'm like, you almost gave me an anxiety attack and you want me to be cheerful. I cut ties with her like 2 years ago. But then she tried messaging me through Instagram, uh, begging, pleading, asking for a second chance. Then I unblocked her on WhatsApp, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm still in love with her." I'm like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, you're never gonna change. Good luck in your life." She started berating me. She even like told me like, "Oh, your mom didn't educate you." I'm like, "Listen, you did this, you did that. You're nasty. You're always gonna be nasty. Like, don't involve your mental
Exactly. It's
health."
got nothing to do with mental health. Exactly. Some
Yeah,
people are just nasty.
yeah. So, when does anxiety come to play when it comes to mental health?
I feel like anxiety is something that every single person has experienced at some point, and I think that that's what's so difficult about it as well,
Yeah,
is the fact that so many people have experienced it that it's easy for them to write it off.
yeah,
Like, oh, well, I've been anxious too. But there's a difference between experiencing a little bit of normal anxiety and it constantly being with you, even in situations where it's not helpful, and not being able to get rid of it. And that's what I feel makes it such a difficult mental health disorder, because it's something that people don't understand, or they think that they understand, or they think that they know. So
yeah,
it's really easy for them to talk down on people who are saying, "I'm feeling anxious." Because there's one psychologist I went to gave me this really interesting, and obviously it's not going to work for everyone, but she gave me some really interesting advice of don't tell your partner, because I have the problem with my husband just
yeah,
doesn't understand mental
yeah,
health, and she said, don't tell him that you're feeling anxious. Tell him exactly how you're feeling. Like, I have a tightness in my chest, or I've got like my heartbeat's really fast, or I'm feeling really, really hot. Like, don't tell them in terms of what you're...
yeah,
Yeah, and I did find that to a certain extent that was helpful for him, as someone who just didn't understand in terms of, I'm anxious.
yeah. But like, anxiety can be like such a big asshole, because I feel anxious most of the time. Most of the things I do, I sometimes out of impulsivity as well. Like, I do stuff like, oh god, now I feel anxious. I'm like, sometimes, let's have an example. I did this in your stream. I'm like, oh my god, I'm anxious. Why did I do that? This like, I keep on like brainstorming, spinning the idea around. For example, I did this. Like, let's say this should have been blue. It should have been like yellow. And Quill's gonna like, oh my god, I hope I didn't bother Quill. Like, I hope I didn't bother, I don't know, Bubbles. I hope I didn't bother Dan. Like, I keep spinning the idea in my head. That's what makes me so anxious as well. And do you think also impulsivity comes with ADHD, or is it a thing that you like grow with it, like with time?
Again, everyone can have experiences with this, but it is more common for people with ADHD.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so difficult for some people to understand. They're like, well, I experienced that too. And it's like, yeah, that is really valid. You do experience this as well, and no one's trying to take that away from you. But the thing is, you don't experience it to the same level that someone who has a disorder does.
Yeah. What do you say to people who are struggling today with like these things?
That only when you get your own power back can you start to make changes in your life. If you expect other people to help you, you're never going to find resolution. And I know that that's a really mean thing to say in some cases, but getting your own power is the most important step to recovering from anything and taking ownership of yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that. I concur. I agree with
we
that.
We all have to be responsible for ourselves.
Yeah. But mostly that's like, I want to keep going on. I have so much to ask you, but we have like a time cap. So thank you so much, Quill, for everything. Guys, Quill is amazing. You're not gonna shut me up because you are. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're like deserving of everything that's happening to you on Twitch. All the love, all the.
I know where you stream, Blue.
Oh God, she's gonna come and like mod for me. I'm joking. Yeah. So. She's really like that. She's like lovely, wonderful, and I really loved what you've done last time, like the random stickers on your face. When you said stickers, I thought like stream stickers, which is a thing you should have. Stream stickers, like for example, someone could like just stick a fart sticker on the screen, and some of them could jump scare you, which would be funny. What's it called? Someone that Essie knows has it. Not Dixper. No. Stream stickers. It's called stream stickers. You should look into that.
I have seen it before.
Yeah. For example, like someone could slap a sticker of a cat doing something, or of someone saying, for example, like, or a chicken sound like that. That would be funny. Either with bits or with channel points, you could do that. For example, Voodoo has like a ditto dance. For example. They can throw tomatoes at her. They can throw a piece of cake.
I'm gonna do that to May. She's like one of the most delightful people in the universe.
Oh yeah, hold on. Can you hop into her stream for a bit now?
I'm already there.
Hold on.
I love how you always like, hey, make sure that you're.
No. Like, can you watch what I'm gonna do? So. If people don't know what I'm doing, is that the page needs refreshing. But like, yeah, there are some interactions that you can do that allow you to do stuff.
That's what I want to, that's what you can expect from me in Twitch, is trying to find ways to make my stream more interactive.
Yeah, no, look.
That's what you can expect from me.
Look now.
Oh yeah. The ditto, that's so cute.
Yeah. And I love putting it on her like head. It's like, it's wobbly and it's funny there, and yeah. So those interactions that people sometimes find hilarious. Some people like, for example, like if you have a lot of fart stickers, that would be so funny.
I've seen a redeem. I think it might be on Semper Turtle. And you can make a fart cloud appear behind him.
Oh, I've seen
it only works because you've got a because they've got a.
Don't Poke T Bear has it.
Yeah, Bear's cute. Bear lives in my suburb.
Yeah, I've left click to hit. I've introduced them to together to each other. So I redeemed that fart thing. He's like, "Oh my god, someone open a window." That was so funny. But yeah, but like, go check her out, guys. It's jaQUILLyn, as the title said.
It's a trap.
It's a tarp.
It's a trap.
It's a tarp. Yeah. So the episode title is her Twitch handle. So go check her out. Go show her some love. We're working on getting her to partner, which is very deserving of, and which I told her before to get it, but she was like, I'm too scared. But she's gonna get it again, I'm pretty sure. So go support her. Leave a tab open. Leave 10 tabs open if you can, from 10 different accounts. I don't mind. As long as like
We're aiming for August. We've got some time. I just know that if I don't shoot for it now, it's gonna be impossible after I have a baby.
yeah,
Another baby.
yeah. So basically, you've seen the vibe. I freaking love Quill, and I cannot tell you how much I really appreciate her. Even though I didn't show this episode, but like, I'm torn between like tired but wanting to go on, but like also thrilled to have her on because I've been like, oh my god, it's today. I'm like, yeah. So
The time zones do be time zoning.
yeah. But thank you for the time, Quill, and I will be seeing you around, definitely.
Yeah, you will.
She knows where I stream. I'm gonna be
I'll talk to
using
you
that.
soon, please.
Same here. Okay, bye.